Hi, I'm still Bob.
I'm still Debbie.
And this is the cha-cha pattern we promised you. And this is a really hot one. We've used this in our master's routines from time to time, and we use certain parts of it in West Coast swing. We use it in two-step. So if you can master it in cha-cha, you can use it in any other dance. Let's just break it off from the beginning here. We're just going to use an open break type position here, and we're going to do most of this back and forth along here because that's just the way the pattern goes. It will move a little back and forth as well, just to give you an idea. So the first part's just a rock, step 2, 3, then you're going to let the lady lock forward for 4 and 1. Now here on a cross-body lead, you're going to let her do that, but guys, you're going to rock on the spot for your 2, 3, and you're going to let her spiral on 3 there by giving her a little twist of the hand. Now she's going to lock on the 4 and 1. And guys, you're going to follow her here on that because you've done your 2, 3, and so as you do this here, you can do a lock with her or you can walk with her on this. So if she locks for the 4 and 1, you're set up now with the hand here for the lady to come back and do a swivel. I'm going to break that swivel down for you ladies here in just a minute, but watch it for the first time. Guys, your feet are just coming together as she does 2, 3. We're going to talk about the hand connection and different things you can do there. On the 4 and 1, ladies, you're going to spin around, swiveling on the 1 as you do 4 and 1. And guys, you just did a little cucaracha there, back rocking together. On the 2, you're swiveling again. And on the 3, you're swiveling again. All right. Now, let's break down those swivels. But before we do, I'm going to have Debbie break down some of her arm positions in there, starting from back here. So here comes Debbie.
Ladies, I just try to keep my arm as still as possible. I want it to be moving all the time, but in cha-cha we want most of the attention to be drawn to our waist. So from here we're going to do a rock. Step on the 4 and 1, I'm just going to leave my arm out. On the 2, I kind of give the guy a little tap on the shoulder as I'm coming by just to let him know I'm coming by here. And then we're going to snap the head for the spiral. So we can really draw the attention out here. Your hair's flying, the guy's looking at you. It works okay. On the 4 and 1, for the lock step, I'm going to bring my hand right up. And then on my first swivels, I'm going to let it come around my head and down my body. 2, 3. Then I'm going to leave it there for my 4 and 1. On the 2, I'm going to bring it out, and I'm just going to turn the hand over for 3.
All right, ladies, those swivels, you need to practice a lot on those. Let me do them just right at you first. If you think about it, if you just stand on your left foot first, I'll just have you I'll face you, and then I'll try and show you what it looks like from the lock. But what you're trying to do is kind of bring the heel by the whole foot, like you would if you were twisting, and then let your weight go onto that right foot. Then you're going to twist from there. Ooh, got a sticky square. I'm going to pivot there. Swivel there and step onto that foot. So as you bring it in, the first thing that's hitting is the knee to the back of the knee there, and then your body starts turning before the feet pass. And then what's happening is I'm hitting my calf muscles together, I'm hitting the heels together, the heel is coming past there, and then at this point I'm going to change weight from one foot to the other foot. You take the steps as big as the music allows you. In cha-cha, if you have a fast cha-cha, you'll notice when we do this fast in a minute, Debbie's not going to get a very big step here because the music won't allow her. If we gave her more time and she was going like a 2, 3, 4, 1, that could be bigger. If it's really small, it's like 2, 3, 4, 1, and very small. What you're doing on the spin, ladies, is after the lock step, you're locking back. What you want to try and do here is just turn around your center, let that foot brush in like we were just talking about, and take it to the side, away from your partner to the side here. Then you take it back the other direction. Now what you have to do is you have to get a 3/4 turn here on the 4 so that your back is to your partner. You can close your feet or almost bring them together. Then you're going to swivel 1 back to your right, and then on 2 there's that swivel there, 3 there's that swivel there, and then we're ready to pick up the next part, which is just a crossover rock. Now let's talk about the hand connection next as we do that. If you think about like a vise, gentlemen, you have your hand on the inside and on the outside of the lady's hand here. When the lady does her swivels, all you want to do, ladies, is you're going back and forth on the swivels. The guy's going to try and brace that here. He's not really pulling you forward and backwards. He's really trying to let you push against him one way or the other way. So when you have your back to him, on this first one, there's a little pull. And then what happens is there's a little push against the man's hand coming this way because you have to swivel your body back the other way. And then there's, because the spin is coming up next, you're pushing against the man's hand here, but it's really the fingertips. I'm just using the hand so you can see that. As she goes to spin, she takes her body right around, and then you catch this here to stop the lady there. Ladies, you'll usually have your own balance going, so this is not going to be heavy here, but you know the man's going to be there. To fast music, sometimes you're going to need that. Now again, to swivel back the other way, you push against the man's hand. To swivel back this way, you can You're actually pushing that way. And for the last one, you're pushing again, and the man's just going to go with you. Guys, you're basically standing on the spot trying to focus all the attention on your partner. You don't even really want to move this hand. All you're doing is kind of balancing there. Like if there was a pole here and Debbie was just holding on using the pole, that's kind of what you are for a second. You're just giving a little body rhythm as you hold the position. So if we did that lock one more time from the lock, we have 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. This next thing here we're doing is just a crossover. So let's take this from the top so you can see how this all fits together. We're starting off with a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 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 1. And guys, you can let your hand go slightly with the lady. I would keep it really down, not do much with it. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to turn back to face each other for 2 and tap. You can count that and 2, 2 and, whatever. Then you're replacing your weight, man to his right foot, lady to her left foot for 3. Then you're just doing another crossover here for 4 and 1 to take it back the other direction in place of the rock step. So from the lock here, we're doing 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. We're walking 2 at this point here, and then we're going to step forward on 3, turn to face front. Then we're going to lock backwards for the 4 and 1, 4 and 1. We're again going to turn to face each other 4 and 2. This is the same action that we did earlier. And now we're going to open back up on 3, but instead of doing a crossover now, we're going to borrow something from samba, from the ballroom world, and do what's called a botafogo. And all that is we're going to step forward on 4, and we're going to do a little rock step to the side, and 1. And this opens us up the other way for the beat of 2. Guys, you're going to rock back to your left foot for 3 as you allow your partner to step forward. She's going to spiral, and then what you're going to do is move after her as she does 4 and 1, and you're back into a dance position. We're going to do this coming across here in just a moment so you can see it from the other side. The back lock, you can think of almost as a back chassé. So if we took it from this crossover rock for 4 and 1, this is just a Latin walk for 2, 3 with a turn, lock back 4 and 1. You can actually lock the feet fully, or you can do a little chassé. That's a question of style as you do it. And then guys, all you got to do is turn your body to your partner for and 2, 3, then the botafogo, 4 and 1, the 2, 3, 4 and 1. All right, if we do this from a different angle, we're going to start it off with my best side, coming right at the camera. So we're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 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 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Good. Styling, things like the head whip and things like that, we explain in depth on our Hustle 3 video. So if you ever want to tune into some things like that, body rolls, head whips and things like that, you can investigate our trick lines and illusionary movements video, which teaches all those kind of things. And we call them tricks because they look like they're really hard, but it just takes a little discipline to develop them. Or you can get our Hustle 3 video. Other things I just want to talk about is the hand connection here. The C position that you use in West Coast swing or East Coast swing, we use here in depth as well. And when I'm taking Debbie to a crossover position, I'm also using my forearm sometimes because I can create some connection between the forearm and the fingertips. I can also push here a little bit. If I'm stepping through to a crossover, I can stop Debbie. If I'm going through to like that botafogo action, I can bring her forward just a little bit and then bring her back the other way. The more that you work with facing in a dance position, and ladies, making the man take you to like a crossover position, and guys, the more that you work on leading that crossover position with some kind of light but firm tone in the arms and up against the lady. All right? So when I bring her from here, the 2, 3, I'm letting her come forward for the 4 and 1. And now she steps into the 2-3, I'm giving that hand just a little turn, and she's stepping on 3. Now at this point here, I'm not pushing it at her. I'm just leaving it relaxed, and I'm giving the hand just a little push, but not towards her body, so she knows to lock for the 4 and 1. Once she gets over her foot, I'm bringing her back. And I'm trying to provide a stable base here like we were talking about earlier for the 2-3. All right? Now we're going to do this with Debbie's good side coming back to the camera, so you can see it from this last angle before we go. So we started off with a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Other things I really want you to note is how small our steps were through that whole pattern. Small steps, if you'd notice, gave Debbie a chance to do a lot of body action and body rhythm there. It gives her a lot of time to work her arms when she wants to. It gives us a chance to connect together. And all our connections are very, very light, because we've worked through the foundations of the dance first. If you're having trouble with this pattern, what you might try and do is work on some of the fundamentals of this dance, and it'll help you a lot. We work with 2-beat increments of time, like for a chassé, 4 and 1. A rock step is a 2-3. I'm substituting things in throughout to take the place of that. And we explain all those things on our Cha-Cha number 1 and Cha-Cha number 2 video, if you're interested in those. I think that's about all for the Cha-Cha pattern.
You want to give them a phone number?
Okay, let's give them the phone number. 816-542-1676. That number takes care of 3 things: dance videos, Dance Ranch, where you can take lessons with Debbie or myself or both of us, and also the Heartland Dance Festival Kansas City Swing Challenge for this year of 96 or 97 or 98. Give us a call at that number and we'll take care of you for any of those things.